The glow of my laptop read 4 a.m. Every slide on the screen held months of research. My MIT doctoral valedictorian speech had to be perfect, not for the professors, but for the 3 people I'd saved front row seats for.
Mom.
Dad.
Christopher.
I'd sent the tickets 6 months ago. I even framed them beside a photo from my kindergarten graduation, me, at 5, saying I'd become the smartest scientist ever. 22 years later, I did. PhD in biomedical engineering at 27. Published work on neural interfaces. Job offers big enough to erase every student loan. And 3 front row seats for the family who never showed up. They skipped my master's defense. Skipped my national award. Skipped my conference presentation 2 hours from their house. But this time was supposed to be different. My phone buzzed. Christopher. I'm proposing to Amber tomorrow. Mom's throwing a surprise party after. You'll be done with your thing by 3, right? My ceremony started at 2.
Me.
It runs until at least 4. Christopher. Don't be selfish.
Selfish.
I typed I'll try. I already knew I wouldn't make it. At 11 a.m., Mom texted. Small change. Amber's family can only do the party at 2. We'll watch your graduation online. Dad set everything up.
So proud.
They weren't coming. Of course they weren't. The auditorium was packed. Black robes, flowers, cameras, cheering families. I walked past my 3 reserved seats. Front row. Left side. Empty. My advisor found me backstage. Isabella, where's your family? They couldn't make it. Her smile faded. You're still going to give a great speech, she said. Then, more quietly, but it isn't fair. I'd written 5 versions of my speech. The 5th one was the only honest one. I stepped to the podium. Distinguished faculty, fellow graduates, and loved ones. I paused. I want to talk about disappointment. A murmur moved through the hall. 6 months ago, I reserved 3 seats in the front row. I pointed. They're empty. My family is at a surprise party for my brother's girlfriend. The silence was heavy. For 9 years, I chose science over sleep, research over relationships, progress over parties. In those 9 years, my family attended exactly 0 of my academic milestones. I took a breath. But here's what I learned. Disappointment is data. It shows you who shows up, what people protect, and what only matters to you. My research is about neural interfaces, about teaching broken connections to work again. I can help damaged nerves reconnect, I said softly. But I can't fix broken relationships. Because spinal cords want to heal. Some families don't. I looked across the crowd. So, to anyone here with empty seats today, this moment still belongs to you. And today, we learned to celebrate ourselves. We became our own cheerleaders. We filled those empty seats with ambition, grit, and the quiet certainty that our worth isn't measured by who shows up, but by what we build when they don't. My voice cracked. I let it. My research will help paralyzed patients walk again. My family missed hearing that because they were at a party for someone my brother had been dating for 8 months. And that's okay. Because I'm not doing this for them anymore. I'm doing this for the 14-year-old girl who built a robot in her garage while her parents never missed a single one of her brother's games. For the student who stayed in the lab on Thanksgiving because going home meant listening to someone else's success for 4 straight hours. For every brilliant mind in this room who chose excellence over approval. The tears came then, hot and real. We are not selfish for choosing ourselves. We are not wrong for outgrowing people who never grew with us. We are not required to dim our light just because it makes others uncomfortable. So here's my challenge. Stop saving seats for people who will never show up. Stop shrinking yourself for those who resent how far you've come. Stop apologizing for the space you earned through sacrifices they never made. I looked straight into the camera.
Mom. Dad.
Christopher. I know you're watching. Or maybe you aren't. Maybe the party is too loud. Either way, I made it without you. And that is my real achievement. To the class of today,
We're doctors now.
we have proven we can survive anything, even the absence of the people who should have been there. Go change the world.
Start with yourselves.
I stepped away from the podium into complete silence. Then the room erupted. Not polite applause. A standing, shaking, unstoppable roar. People were crying,
Nodding.
holding their chests like something inside them had finally been named. My advisor pulled me into a fierce hug. That, she whispered, was brave. My phone exploded in my pocket. I ignored it through the rest of the ceremony, through my diploma, through the reception, where strangers told me their own stories of empty seats and quiet victories. In my car, finally alone, I looked. Dozens of missed calls. Hundreds of messages. The video was already everywhere. From my family. How could you embarrass us like this?
Take it down.
This was private. People think we're terrible parents. From strangers. You said what I never could. My parents missed my graduation too. Thank you for making me feel less alone. By the next morning, millions had watched it. Interview requests poured in. Speaking offers. Book deals. I said no to all of them. I went to work. Real work. The kind that mattered. I agreed to only one written interview. They asked why the speech connected with so many people. I wrote, "We live in a world that says family is everything. That blood excuses everything. That silence is forgiveness. But what about those of us whose families always choose something else? Whose achievements are footnotes in someone else's story? We deserve to hear that it is okay to succeed without their support. Empty seats do not mean empty lives." 6 months later, Mom called. For the first time since graduation. An aunt was sick. There was a fundraiser.
They wanted me to speak.
"You're well known now," she said. "It would really help." "I'll donate," I said quietly. "We need more than money. We need you." Family hadn't been important enough for my graduation, but it was important enough now. "That isn't fair," she said. Neither were the empty seats. I hung up and went back to my lab, back to electrodes and algorithms, back to small, shaking steps turning into real movement, back to a place where my value was measured in progress, not promises. The speech still circles online. Every graduation season, it finds its way back. Parents write to say it changed how they show up. Students write to say it finally gave them permission to stop waiting. The 3 people I saved those seats for? They never watched past the first minute. Christopher told me that later, over Thanksgiving dinner. The first one I'd attended in years. The last one I ever would. "We turned it off when you started attacking us," he said casually. I laughed. Actually laughed. "It wasn't Amber's day," I said. "It was mine. And the fact that you still can't see, that is exactly why I gave that speech." They stopped inviting me after that. I spent Christmas in the lab, with the people who taught me, the people who stayed late with me, the people who believed in what I was building. My real family. My diploma hangs in my office now, next to a printed email from a student on the other side of the world. Her parents missed her graduation for her brother's recital. "You made me realize," she wrote, "that I can frame my success next to their absence and still call it complete." 3 empty seats. Millions of views. One simple truth. Sometimes the best families are not the ones we're born into, but the ones who show up.